to Plant-Based with Love, the podcast. Two spirits navigating dating in a meat eater's world.
Hello. Yes, welcome to another episode of Plant-Based with Love, the podcast.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. We are your hosts. I am a Chef and
I'm Pendu.
Yes, and this is the journey of two souls finding equilibrium through love, food, and relationship in a world full of carnivores.
Absolutely.
Everything in balance and moderation.
Absolutely.
Always balance, right?
Balance is the key.
Well, hello, my love. How are you? All right.
So great to be back.
Yes, glad to have you back.
Yay.
Glad to have you back. How you feeling this evening?
I'm feeling very, you know that feeling of like you're tired, exhausted, but you feel great.
Yeah.
All at the same time.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm sure you're on an emotional high. Just had a triumphant, victorious show in Vegas, right?
And now I need to tell myself to not think about it yet, to do it for here. Like, calm down. Don't plan it yet.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm already on to the next one. Like, okay, now I got to start doing my template and no.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah, well, enjoy it for a while. Soak it up.
Yes.
Enjoy it for a while.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. We're back at it again.
Good.
Another good show for the people. Things are rolling. Things are moving in order. And decent, but things are moving in order and things are rolling. So, hey, that's the best way to be. I'm back with my love. So, hey.
I'm happy.
Time to make it happen. Yeah. So, we have another great show for you, for the citizens of Plant-Based with Love Country. Plant-Based with Love Country, I think I came up with something.
Okay, maybe we have something.
Yeah, so for the citizens out there in Plant-Based with Love Country, we got another great show for you guys.
Always.
More thrills and chills. And we're going to just go in on a great topic here. And so this, again, Plant-Based with Love, the podcast. You can find us everywhere where podcasts are found. And, of course, we got to shout out the company, the great media company, parent company that this show is brought to you by, of course, Push It Forward Media Group. Yes, got to give them a shout out to Push It Forward Media Group and Heru and all the great people over there for allowing us, helping us to bring this into your home or to your car or to your device, wherever you're listening to this. Of course, in conjunction with Kim's Shem Terra Inc. and Sassner Kepler Movement. So, love. So I think we can go ahead and get into it, right?
Let's get into it.
You want to tell the people where they can find you first before we get into it?
Oh, yes. You can find me at Pendu Dance on Instagram and at Afro_sexy on Instagram. Okay. And then from there you'll see I have two other pages, but I'll just start with those two.
I got you. Is there any clips of the show up there?
A little bit. I'm trying to slowly but surely, but I am I'm a hustler, so I might be selling the show.
Watch out there now. So you heard it here first, exclusive.
Yeah.
You might be getting an Afro sexy show here soon.
But it's always better in person. Like theater, you can never replicate.
No, of course.
If it's not in person, it's just one of those things that you're missing a good 50%, I think.
Yeah, it's
just you're getting it, but you're not getting it. You're not feeling it.
Right. It's a very intimate type show experience, right?
Exactly.
Once in a lifetime, life-changing experience.
For some,
I love it. I love it. The rebirth. Right? Yeah. Yes. So anyway, so check us out there. Check her handles. Check her pages. Yeah, you're gonna catch a little bit of that flavor. Of course, you can catch me. You can find me on I'm Shep the Comedic PB for Plant-Based on Instagram, as well as our Instagram pages. The Plant-Based the podcast, Plant-Based will Love the podcast on Instagram and Facebook as well. All right, so tonight's topic, we wanted to just dive in and just have a good little conversation about plant-based eating and spirituality.
Yeah, I may have my own views about that.
Plant-based and spirituality. Does being plant-based make you more spiritual?
And that's an opinion. Because, for me, I'm not a PETA or, the picket sign plant-based eater. But again, I'm only going by what I've been taught growing up, since this was my life since the beginning.
Right.
To me, I just feel like, okay, you don't kill animals, so therefore you feel some more compassion, so therefore there's a tad bit more spirituality there. Now, of course, you probably could still be atheist and do that, but I don't know. For me, I just feel like most of the time you probably feel one with all, because you're not going to use another animal's flesh for your own body's consumption. So that's just my opinion. I feel like you are a little bit in tune with at least all things. Therefore, wouldn't that equal spiritual?
Well,
Depends on the person.
That is definitely a universal principle, if you want to look at it that way. Being in tune with all things, being in tune with the earth. I mean, generally, depending on your tradition, most traditions look at a oneness, right? Of all things, whether it's a oneness of life or a oneness of consciousness or a oneness.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The one, right? So if you're looking at that, and generally, if you're operating in that oneness or in harmony with that oneness, then
I don't
you
see
wouldn't.
how. Right.
Yeah, you wouldn't do things to
hurt another thing so you can gain some benefit. Like, why would you need to go kill that chicken so you can eat it? Why?
Right.
Like that, I don't see how that goes together.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't want to violate it unless, it was something that had to be done, but not just willingly or wantfully violating the one that's just for,
for sport, or because you think you need it, because you don't need it. If you do it, you just want to.
Yeah. For need, that would be, a different kind of conversation. But yeah.
And what's your opinion? Because we don't have to agree. I would like to know what is your opinion.
Well, yeah, I certainly agree with you, my love. I mean that in a way, and I would say yes and no.
Okay, please elaborate.
Well, I would just say that being plant-based, it is when you're looking at spirituality. The oneness, being closer to God, whatever you look at spirituality as, when you're looking at becoming a vessel of God or being closer to God, I think yes, being plant-based it can be a part of that. I think of course there are steps, and there are different parts to that key. Let's say if spirituality was a key,
right,
and let's say maybe it had 11 parts or 14 parts, I think that would probably be like one of the parts,
right?
Definitely, because you need to optimize the physical body.
Absolutely.
In order to, accomplish what you're trying to accomplish in this world. Because what's the basis of your spirituality? Like, what are you trying to do?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, if you, to me, spirituality is only good as like the goal that you're trying to reach.
That's
like, are you trying to accomplish something in this world? Are you trying to build something?
Right.
Are you trying to overcome your flaws? Are you trying to love others? Are you trying to are you trying to better your surroundings?
Absolutely.
And the people around you? Then of course you need optimal energy.
Yes.
You need a vessel that's fitting for the task that you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
So yeah. So yeah. Like I said, as a part of a system. Yeah.
Right.
Now, just doing that by itself is almost like,
it's like that's not enough.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like, I would say like, like almost like, okay, putting high octane gas in the car.
But then you don't take care of the car otherwise.
Well, I mean, like, will it automatically drive you to work?
No, you still have to drive properly.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I guess I'm looking at it like that. So yes, as a part of a system, yes. As a part of a system, yeah,
yes.
Most definitely.
And of course, some may not agree, but that's okay.
Well, no. I mean, yeah. Oh, you mean some may not agree?
With our opinions, some may not agree. That's okay.
Of course. I mean, spirituality is a very
it's personal
and since it is a personal subject, that means, a lot of people going to have personal opinions.
Exactly. And we should be able to have those without any kind of tension.
Yeah. Yeah, we should be able to have that. But again, that's another universal principle.
Right.
Like there are certain philosophies that deal with like universal principles, right? Like, where like two people should be able to disagree
and still be friends
and still be peaceful.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
absolutely. I don't understand why you don't believe what I believe. Okay, forget you. No.
Right.
Why?
Yeah. No. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's because there are certain philosophies that are like, okay, banish the people that banish the people that don't believe like you believe, and
no. Why? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or like, kill the infidel, murder the savages. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's there's certain I guess that's a good lead into like Eastern versus necessarily Western philosophy. Like some of the Western philosophies, they like that.
Yeah.
They what they call it, proselytizing.
Yes.
Convert everybody. So when it's like convert, when you're in the mode, when you're in the mode of converting people, then like having another, you almost got to eradicate that other people.
Exactly. I don't think conversion is a positive thing at all. Like, I'm going to convert these people. No. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, that means you think what they're saying is wrong.
Yeah.
Or what they believe is wrong. No.
Well, it just doesn't work with like if that's like the kind of the modus operandi like of your philosophy. Like, okay, like basically, I know I migrated like to African spirituality from like the church, and I do remember like when you were at the church, and it's just I remember some of the conversations they would have. Like basically, like you ain't a real Christian if you don't convert people.
See, and that to me
like that's a part of like
wrong.
The tenet.
That just sounds so wrong. I mean, I almost feel like I don't think I've ever. Okay, let's use my being this way since I was born. I never said, all right, I'm going to convert my friends to eat plant-based. No, they changed because they wanted to, and they just asked me for their help. But I didn't walk around with my picket sign and my recipes like, you must eat like this. You see how aggressive?
You sure you didn't?
No, I would just, if they would ask me questions. People ask me questions all the time. But I didn't initiate. Trust me.
Because you can...
No, I'm aggressive, but I didn't never...
You can preach about it.
I can preach a lot, but a lot of people always ask me questions.
I got you.
But I didn't walk around.
But you didn't go around like, okay, I am going to convert 10 vegans today.
That's too exhausting.
Or I'm not I'm going to convert 10 plant-based people. I'm not a real
people
plant-based
thought I was doing that because if you come and talk to me, I'm very strong in my stance. But I feel like that's too exhausting. I had too much to do to go around trying to convert people. No. Yeah. But if you ask me a question now, you open the door, so now I'm going to take that door.
Of course.
Rip it off the hinges. But people had to start this conversation. That's the difference.
I got you. Well, the thing I think about, like any kind of knowledge, to me, it should be light. You know what I'm saying? Like it should be so light and pleasant that and gentle.
The gentle approach. Okay.
Right, but strong in its results. You know what I'm saying? Gentle in maybe the presentation, or gentle in how it comes across. But strong in results. Like the results are so good that even though like, oh man, he's not shouting at the top of his lungs or trying to convert like a whole bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? But he's just a good example of like, wow, you know what I'm saying? That, oh man, what he does, it gets results.
Leading by example, though. I don't think leading by example is converting. Like, you're just doing your life.
Yeah.
Someone else is just looking at what you're doing.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To me, that I just think that, in my opinion, that's what like knowledge or universal, or I just think the world would be a better place if knowledge was presented that way.
Instead of, no, my way is right and your way is wrong, and therefore you got to change.
Yeah. But like I say, that's kind of the difference between like a lot of the Western philosophies and necessarily like the Eastern philosophies or whatnot. So when you look at it that way, it kind of makes sense, and that's a good segue into like West versus East, right?
Exactly.
A lot of the Western religions, they really don't deal with like the laws of health.
No, like Except for the don't eat pork.
Except for don't eat pork. No.
Which, that's it. But I mean, you can be totally unhealthy and never eat pork, though. You know what I mean? Like, okay, that's good. Don't eat pork. But then, it's like, I'm trying to think about it. Like, anywhere have I read? No.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Well, like the Old Testament, like if you really get into like Christianity or whatnot, like I say, I'm a migrator. Has like a lot of different health laws in the Old Testament.
Okay, so then what happened in the New Testament? Because see, I'm not as educated as you are.
Oh, okay.
So
well, in the New Testament,
you don't have to do what they did or anything. Like, what?
Jesus, Jesus was like, nah, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So.
But see, now was that translated like that, or was that really read, like written? You see how some say, "Oh, that's what I read," and they really just translating what they think it is, or was that really written?
I don't know. I guess maybe the body chemistry changed, and then you ain't need to do all them laws, and
Was that what was translated or written?
I'm just.
That's always what my question is. Is that?
But nah, like they had like a lot of laws, like in the Old Testament, like okay, don't eat shrimp and don't.
And then
eat
see what happens.
Split hoof and don't eat blah 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 blah. It wasn't like don't eat no meat, but it definitely was like a whole bunch of different other animals other than pork.
See, my question is, why did that change?
Well, like I said, to me, I think I look at everything like economics and industrialization, and you know what I'm saying. They're political, political, historical movements and things and changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, when you look at Christianity, when it, because the New Testament was like Greek and Roman, that's when they came in. So in order to get them to embrace it, and then of course, for them to be able to like rule countries and take over different territories and make Christianity more palatable. You know what I'm saying? That all like if you're gonna conquer a whole bunch of different people with a lot of different beliefs, then you gotta kind of loosen the reins.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta kind of loosen the reins, and then especially with like the Romans and Greeks, they love some meat and bacchanalia and saturnalia and all the kind of crazy stuff. So they was gonna eat some meat. Like God had to be cool with it.
So that means that's why I question that. Did they go in and alter written scripture for their own benefit?
Well, I mean, yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, that's where I feel like, okay, so that wasn't written. It was just somebody who was like, this doesn't work for me, so I'm going to change it.
Of course. Okay, so if you were to look at, the original Hebrew tradition, right? Okay, Old Testament. Yes, it was very, very close to like the ancient African Canaanite tradition. So yeah, they did deal with the laws of health. Most ancient African traditions deal with laws of health because they had a more holistic view of just life in general. It's like that oneness, right? The oneness.
Right.
We're talking about a holistic view. A lot of people use that word now, holistic.
Do they know what it really means, though? That's what I always question. I hate to say that.
Don't
like,
necessarily
do you really
know what it means. Right. It'd be funny. It'd be like, I'm eating this granola bar because it's holistic. You'd be like, nah, that's not how you use the word. That's not how you use the word.
There's a lot of fads happening now. But even though, as much as I love that, I see the way that I grew up that used to be looked at as like the quote unquote, oh, let that voodoo family over there. I'm loving that. I see it becoming popular, but I don't appreciate the fads because because like you said, the word holistic or can I have some almond milk? And they just drinking it because everybody said it was good, but they don't really know. Like, well, no, but why do you drink that? Right. I don't know. There's a lot of that going on, which I notice.
Fads. Well, I mean, I'm not so against the fads because
they go away though. Fads
that's what I was gonna say. If they don't go away, if it's a good fad and then it turns into a tradition, that's good.
But is that going to happen though?
If it has staying power, I mean, well,
that's what I'm saying. I feel like for some people it's because, or I don't like I'm going to do it because it's going to make me skinny. I feel like that's the only reason why you're going to do that. Now, this is speaking from dancers. I'm being very specific to an audience. But I know some that do it strictly for, am I going to get skinny from this? And I'm like, that's all you care about? So then, again, to me, that's not really doing it for real.
Yeah.
You kind of get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So everything you're saying, so like with holistic, I said, there's another one.
Yeah. That whole holistic is like a ancient like viewpoint where like, you're looking at everything like, okay, I'm gonna look, like I was just saying, like if you got this key and it has all these different parts, I'm gonna look at all these different parts, and and just see how they work together just to make my life better. So, but yeah, if you, like I said, but that's just the difference between the Western and necessarily Eastern philosophy. And like I said, those laws are helping me, and that's deep though, because there are laws of help. I mean, if you think about it, there are laws that govern everything.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, that's laws of like what brings order, right?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't there be laws that govern like your body too?
Simple. It's just simple.
If you got 10 commandments, right?
Right. Why not for the body too?
Yeah. Well, how could you leave that out? If you're supposed to be like a vessel of God, there's got to be some laws that, that deal with your body too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when it comes down to political and hey, if I'm trying to, especially Europeans, if I'm trying to, you can't have too many strict rules. Like, no, we gotta loosen this thing up a little bit. Like, hey, ain't that saying when in Rome, do as the Romans do?
Yeah.
But like I said, not knocking anybody or what they do, because like I said, it's all about results to me. Hey, show me the results. But yeah, so. But there are, and if you go back to like some of the ancient traditions, there are some like precedents for it, right? I mean, as far as plant-based and some of the ancient traditions, like I know like some of the Kemetic priesthood, they had a more plant-based. Their writings about them being doing a lot of plant-based,
absolutely
eating.
A lot of Middle Eastern as well.
Yeah, Middle Eastern too. Yeah. I mean, like it seems like a lot of those ancient traditions.
When you take it back,
yeah, the Canaanite, ancient Canaanite, ancient. Of course, meat was still involved for ritualistic purposes and things of that nature, or here and there, or maybe what I'm saying. But anyway, just even in the ancient world, anyway, it was just a luxury. We was talking about that last week.
Absolutely.
It's like it's not a big thing, but when it comes to spirituality, they still were trying to, just make the vessels the best that they could be for the spiritual work that they needed to do to make things happen. So, yeah. But there's something to also just eating plant-based and when it comes to I guess the so-called enlightenment, right? I definitely can say that when you have less toxins in your body,
then you think straight.
Yeah,
I feel like you think straight. It's not as hard to just come up with easy thoughts, and I think you just, I don't know, this could be an opinion, but I don't know, maybe you have a little more compassion naturally.
Yeah.
It's because you're thinking about that.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah. It's funny because like last week we was talking about like martial arts and stuff like that too, and boxing and stuff. And shout out to my pops. Yeah, we had a conversation about boxing, right? And he was like, it was just funny because he was just talking about like there's one vegan boxer he saw that got tired like in the 12th round.
Okay. Well, 12 rounds, that's the end. Hello.
Well, I mean, but he was just saying like, oh man, his legs was getting weak, man. He got knocked out.
Is it 12 the last round?
Well, yeah.
Okay. That's just
it's not just simple. It's about the staying power, right?
Okay.
But that was his argument or whatnot.
Okay.
But then I was talking to him, and I was like, well, though, if you are eating meat though, and you're a little more carnivorous, that will give you more of a killer instinct.
Well, you
right?
are what you eat, and so if you're eating things that kill, you're gonna be more of a killer. That's just kind of basic to me, But I don't necessarily equate that to strength. And I'm speaking. I don't want to make this about me, but I'll never forget back at my show. So we're doing 10 shows a week. Okay. And now let's say at the moment, let's use the age of 29 for an example. Take another 29-year-old and you take me. And we both bump legs to the point of one person breaks their leg. Guess the person who was breaking their leg wasn't me. My bones were that strong that they're like, oh, smack, her leg is broken, but your leg is not. Some would expect, but wait a minute, who's the one that's vegan or plant-based or whatever? And so my point is, somebody over here was still stronger.
Oh.
So, but that's only one example. I can go down the list.
Yeah.
So I always feel like people always
got them
equate
heavy plant bones, huh?
something. But I know that folks want to equate, the plant-based. Look at a gorilla. Do you look at them this week? Excuse me, those gorillas are not eating meat. Apes, they're not eating meat. I can go down a list. These animals are strong and they will mess you up.
Elephants?
elephants. You know what I'm saying? Even cows. Cows don't eat meat.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know when people do that. They're like, oh, look at the weak. Oh, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. So like they
It'd be funny because they'd be like, where you get your protein from?
oh, everything has protein. Come on.
But it'd be funny because like the meat that you eating has its protein from the plants
that the animal ate.
The animal.
It's like, come on, people.
Yeah, that's funny.
So it's just kind of funny how someone, as soon as a person who eats plant-based is weak for even 1 second, oh, see, it's because you eat like that. It's like, no, it's because they were just tired.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with what they eat.
Well, even if like you look at, speaking of detoxing, right, and thoughts, you're talking about clear thoughts.
Yes,
right?
yes.
There is the toxins that can accumulate in the intestines, right? You actually have a second brain in your intestines.
I believe it.
Right. So, and then they were saying like most, adults in America, or most people in America have like 2 or 3 years of toxic poop.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't mean to get too graphic, but
I believe
2 or 3 years of toxic poop just inside their intestines, just sitting there.
That's horrible.
You know what I'm saying? But the other thing is you have a second brain down there though, because you got these so you got these neurotransmitters that are inside of, like, basically they studied these little fiber neurotransmitter like hairs. They're like little hairs that stick out in your intestines.
Wow.
Right, and they are pretty much very similar to the brain cells. Like the neurotransmitters, they fire, right? So there's like something that when you say that gut feeling, there's something to that.
Wow.
But then that also kind of gives you a new meaning to the word, asshole or a-hole.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
You like somebody really might be full of shit.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like really, literally.
Like, yeah.
Like literally. And then they wonder why, okay, so I got all this toxic poop sitting on my neurotransmitters, my second brain.
Of course you can't think.
Right.
Oh my goodness. No, I'm sorry. That image is horrible.
But I mean, it'd be kind of hard to be spiritual like that, though.
That's the point that I make about,
Well, like I say, it depends on what your definition of spirituality is. But
that's
like I say, if you're saying that you want to be a vessel for God,
right?
I mean, I guess we don't want to get too preachy or churchy.
Right, again, this is still opinions here.
Yeah, just a free flowing conversation. But yes, I would say yes. Having poop in your second brain built up
will clog your brain or clog your mind.
You probably won't be thinking straight.
No, and then you wonder. It all makes sense now when people do the things they do. It all makes sense.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things. Toxins definitely play a part in the behavior, thoughts.
Random illnesses that come up, like
random illnesses.
All of a sudden, they came down with XYZ disease. This makes sense.
Yeah. So that's definitely why detoxing is a must.
Absolute must.
Definitely is a must.
Oof.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. So what about love?
Well, that for me, it goes back to the compassion. Because think about it. I don't want to kill anything. I don't want to get any nutrients from anything that I'm taking away a mama or a daddy or a child. That's kind of an act of love in a sense.
Yeah.
I feel like you're building compassion. You're really aware with other living beings. So, for me, I'm trying to maybe I'm not wording it right, but I can see how that can just make, it can make you just more aware.
Yeah.
Of love and that compassion, which can build into that.
I think so too. I think there's something like orderly about like love,
Yeah.
It's like puts everything in its proper place. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you can kind of like see like where everything's supposed to go and see where everything fits and
Right, like it's balance and order because you can say, okay, I see my body. Oh, I can have meat. It's a choice. I don't really need it. I don't know. I'm seeing it like you're trying to maintain some kind of balance.
Well, yeah. And then if it's out of order, though, you can see like the consequences of that. Like, okay, all right. Just straight up, the meat industry is unsustainable.
Oh my goodness! The
way,
earth, yeah,
the way that it's going.
It's not
like I think like in North Carolina, there's more pigs than people. Yeah. Like there are and these pigs poop so much.
Pigs? Are these real pigs?
Are they real pigs? Nah, that's
another conversation. Are they real?
They probably real though.
Like, are they not genetically modified pigs?
They probably are. They probably drugged up. They probably got
but I mean, like
experiments
made up
going
in the
on.
lab pigs. Like made. Okay, no.
I mean, well, probably some of them. You could probably got some Franken pigs. Some Franken pigs probably mixing it.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Some Franken pigs probably mixing that mix. But the thing is, they make so much poop though that it pretty much is made all of the communities around these pig farms like cancerous.
Are you serious?
Yeah. You ever seen What the Health? You never seen What the Hell?
Okay, yes.
You remember What the Hell? Remember the part they was talking about the pigs and the dude just took him to the graveyard, right? And he showed like, oh yeah, he died from colon cancer. This was his family graveyard. Fortunately, I guess to have land, we could bury his own people. But yeah, he was like, yeah, he died from lung cancer. He died from stomach cancer. I mean, it was like a whole graveyard of his family.
That's horrible.
And he was like, yeah, and he was calling me like, yeah, I got something too. I got.
And they don't know it's the food that y'all are eating.
Well, no, it's the fact that like the pig farm was like right across the way, like right across, dang, across the street.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm sure that, the laws and things of that nature have secured them from bringing lawsuits and stuff. But like every day they would turn these like sprinklers on that would fertilize like the land. Then they got the poop. So they spraying it in the air. It's crazy.
Wow. That's a lot.
It's crazy. Yeah, it is a lot. So I'm just saying things like that when you look at, order. Like if things are in order, then it's not, to me, order is like, okay, like there's less harm to, order to me is like something that's for the greater good that brings the less harm
exactly
to people.
Right, not just causing chaos and sicknesses and.
Yeah. I think, who was it? Nellie Fuller, a great black scholar, said that justice is the people who need the most help get the help they need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And everybody being treated fairly. And the people who need the most help gets the help that they need. Something like that. I'm loosely quoting him.
Like that.
But I mean, I think it's something real close to that.
Right.
When you look at what love is and, what order is and,
Absolutely.
to me. So like, yes, there are certain things, there are some things that are just like glaring. It's out of order. Like, how can it continue?
Yeah, and going back to you are what you eat. Think about it. So let's say your diet is mostly, you eat beef. And what's beef? Cow. Now, that's not an aggressive animal, but let's just keep going. All right, what else do people eat? Turkey. Chicken. Or chickens, like, how are they acting? I just feel like I'm just trying to get to what I'm saying.
I got you. You are what you eat.
Right. So really think about it. You really are what you eat. Some of these animals, maybe I didn't name one yet, but some of them are probably not so loving energy or good energy. But if you're consuming something that's very aggressive and mean, and now that's why you are like that too.
Yeah. Chickens are mean though.
So I've never seen chickens in action.
You ever seen chickens in action?
No.
Oh man, nah, man. Don't run up on the chicken.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's some chickens that they'll get at you. You ever heard of fighting birds? People fight chickens. They kill each other.
That's really a real thing?
Yeah.
Like, there's something I think it's just people being funny. Like, that's really funny.
Nah, roosters, you ever heard of a cockfight?
I've heard of that. See, this is real? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man, they get busy. They kill each other. Like, you put them in the ring, man, they go to work.
Well, see, this disturbs me. And then this is what, especially our people, love some chicken. So that's not good.
Well, I mean,
you see how I'm getting it at it? Like, you are what you eat, and this is explaining a lot of the issues that we have.
This is why we always fighting.
I mean, as a collective.
Well, they was fighting over that chicken sandwich, though.
Oh my goodness! See, that's horrible. Now that you say that, I'm just trying to guess. So, like, what animal here is aggressive? Wow.
I mean, they was fighting over that chicken sandwich, so maybe. I mean, people standing in line a long time, and then they ain't get their chicken, boy.
It's really sad.
People getting shot.
Yeah, it's really. I bet you money is the oil. People don't realize I can fry that paper towel. I bet you it can taste good. I think the people really like the oil.
Yeah, oils make stuff taste good.
Yeah, like, is it really the chicken? Is it really?
Well, almost anything fried is gonna be, because oils. People don't realize that it's the oils. That's what tastes good,
right?
Yeah, the oils that are in the food is what are taste buds crave.
Exactly. Fried celery. Fried tastes the same.
You know what I'm saying? It's what really makes it taste good. So that's like when you smell something frying, and you're like, oh man, what is that? Like you're smelling the oil, and it's going into, it's activating your taste buds and taste centers. Yeah.
So that's what
I mean, even like if you bite into like a mango, you know, there's natural oils in that mango that make it taste good along, you know, of course with the natural sugars and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But I mean anything, you know, but then when you fry something, that's like taking that oil up to the
next level,
100 power.
Right,
you know,
that's what people love.
Yeah, so yeah.
But wow, see, I learned something today, everybody. That chickens fight.
You didn't know that?
No, I really thought this was jokes.
I know, that's like
I
a
always
big
heard
thing.
it like
That's
that
a
was
big-
like a joke, but I had no confirmation of what's real. I think it's just somebody being funny.
Oh, nah. That's cockfights is real. That's like a real deal thing, man. People bet money. You go to Singapore, like you've been to some
I've been to
countries
Singapore
over
many
there?
times. but
Yeah,
I
man, they have
only
the
know
underground
some parrots.
cockfighting
See.
ring. It's like it's a whole man betting, man. It gets busy in
But
there,
see, even
man.
when
It's
you
gambling.
travel, I probably wouldn't seek that out.
Oh nah, I wouldn't see you in a gambling
I would
hall
probably
with
seek out
yeah, nah,
arts
it's just-
related.
yeah, nah, that's not hanging out with the gangsters and
Yeah, I was definitely on the side of town that was all about the art. Yeah,
that's not your
Wow.
scene. But yeah. So
cockfighting. Okay. No, like I said, I really learned something. Literally.
yeah. No, chickens get busy. They kill.
But see, this
Yeah.
is think about it. People need to think about that, everybody, when you eat that chicken.
Yeah. So,
Like now, see, you are what you eat.
yeah, that's true.
See, and there you go. It goes back to love. So I feel like it's hard to be loving when you want to fight after you ate some cockfighting chicken.
And people do. I mean, look at the barbecue, the cookout. You know,
This is also
you know,
fascinating.
somebody get a little too drunk after they ate that chicken, and
Wow. It's really fascinating.
yeah, man. I mean, you know, some about that animal brain, I tell you. But yeah, so and then there are other traditions too that kind of deal with like a plant-based philosophy.
Yes, like, well, think about it. Like, okay, I'm sure we both taken yoga before, and for me, I always think, oh, you do yoga? Oh, they probably definitely eat like me, and that's not always the truth. So
No.
then I thought about, okay, like Buddhists, they must definitely be plant-based.
Yeah.
But then I'm hearing
Some
that's
of
not right. Talk about that. Some of them are, and some of them aren't.
Yeah. Well, supposedly like Buddha, he didn't forbid like meat altogether. You know
Only
what I'm
with certain
saying?
occasions.
Well, it was just really more about the philosophy of like just being compassionate. Like I think compassion is
Oh,
one of
so
their
like
like
give
tenets.
the meat a hug, and then you can eat it.
No. Just more as like just compassion and like. But so I think it was further expanded to like, okay, now we have compassion for animals, and we're not going to kill anything. And I know that I think that's kind of the approach with they say like most of like the Shaolin monks, you know what I'm saying, and some of the I think the Chinese Buddhists and Korean Buddhists, because it's all different kinds.
Oh, so all different kinds.
Yeah,
Yes.
but they take that more pacifist stance, like, okay, we're just not going to kill anything. So that, and then that automatically converts over to like, okay, it was just plants. We're going to
You know,
Don't mess
this
with the
makes
plants.
sense now. So that's so funny you brought up the word the country Singapore. So when I was in Singapore, I'll never forget the two different places that I could eat without problems was I went to Indian places, because that was easy, especially some of the strict Indians where they don't even eat any kind of, they were like
Yeah.
just practically plant-based all the way. And then some Buddhist places that were Chinese Buddhists. I was
Oh,
like,
they with it.
Yeah, it was like I didn't have to ask any questions. I was
Yeah.
like, any meat or dairy in here? They're like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So it looks like I'm just having memories. I said, wow.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that wasn't all of the Buddhist places. That was only
Yeah.
the certain ones.
Probably, yeah. If it was Chinese Buddhists, yeah. Because even if you go to like a regular like Chinese place, you heard of Buddha Delight, right?
Exactly. Of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
Buddha Delight. Yeah. So yeah.
So now I'm like, oh, that's why.
Yeah, the Chinese Buddhists.
Because I
Yeah, but there's others that they gets busy with the meat.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so
So it's absolutely.
even in like some of the Indian traditions,
Oh yes, they have
Like
some
you
of the
were
best
saying,
food. They have the thing where
yoga
they worship the
traditions.
cow, and some of them I feel like they worship it so much they don't even consume from the cow.
what's
but
your
then some of
favorite
them do.
Indian dish?
Oh, samosas.
Oh yeah, samosas.
Samosas with the
Samosas
potato
are good.
inside. I don't know why. I could gain 5 pounds off of eating that. Oh my goodness. Anybody know
are
what
good.
samosa is? Like this breaded pastry with potatoes, and it could be spicy, and they dip it into the spicy sauce. Oh my goodness! And most of them are vegan or plant-based.
Excuse me,
you have to.
She loves. She's a foodie.
You have to make sure to ask if the breaded flour was made. With a lot of the ones I always check, they're like, no, absolutely plant-based, vegan, whatever you want it. But the potato inside is just heaven. Right. And if it's spicy, I'm sorry. See, I guess I'm hungry.
Yeah. I remember. I think just a quote from one of I think it's one of the Yoga Sutras. I think it's called Lankanvantara Sutra. Just a quick quote. It was like, so as not to become a source of terror, bodhisattvas establishing benevolence should not eat food containing meat. Meat is food for wild beasts, and it is unfitting to eat. People kill animals for profit and exchange goods for meat. One person kills, another person buys, and both are at fault.
Ooh.
So,
And that was
that's like
quoted by.
Yeah, this is like the yoga. This is one of those yoga sutras.
Yes.
So it's definitely ancient precedents.
Mm-hmm.
So those yoga sutras, they go all the way back.
Yeah, they go all the way back.
Thousands of years. So there's definitely ancient precedents where people saw, basically scientifically, eating scientifically, they saw that, wow, okay, this, and when I optimize my diet, like you say, thinking clearer, is better for spiritual work and things of that nature.
Oh, then we have our animal sacrifice.
Well, animal sacrifice. The elephant in the room.
Yeah, now that one, the reason why that one means something to me is I've lived in a lot of different states in this country, and even when I was living overseas, I am friends with a lot of foreign people, and I love that. Mm-hmm. But with that comes people kind of, not say attacking you, but they question you very aggressively about what you do. So I've been told by some of my continental African friends that I pretty much can't do anything African because I eat plant-based, basically. Yeah. That includes the spirituality. They're like, you might as well not even look at it that way because you don't even eat meat. So let's talk about that.
Right. Well, I mean, it's when you look at African spirituality, I mean, there's all different.
There's so many types.
There's lots of different traditions, and for, let's say, continental Africans, our continental African brothers and sisters who may try to look down on other different African traditions, you have to just, before you engage in a conversation, you gotta kind of remember who you're talking to.
See, and sometimes I just know I'm gonna defend myself.
Right, so, you were just coming out swinging. You just like, hey,
right.
I want to.
I'm like, what you
want a first round knockout,
right.
Yeah. But the thing is that when you remember who you're talking to, and first of all, do they have the knowledge base to even carry on the conversation?
Good point.
You know what I mean? Because if they don't, then it's really kind of pointless.
Right.
So you might have, again, the general approach, you might have well just okay, let them have their opinion and say what they're going to say, their piece, and then, you just go on about your business.
Right.
But then there are people from those other traditions who understand what energy work is, energy cultivation is.
Yes.
Right? Right. So if you got the basis of animal sacrifice, I mean, not to get too deep, is basically you're using the energy of the animals to accomplish whatever it is, spiritual work that you're trying to do.
Right. So if you can do it yourself, then you don't need the animal, basically.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you had an energy cultivation practice that goes along with your tradition, then yeah, you can cultivate that energy yourself to accomplish the things that you need. So you know what I mean? So just blanketly say that
you're not going to be African at all because you don't eat meat. It's excuse me?
That's just an ignorant point of view.
And here's where it's bizarre. Because
I would just say, I won't say ignorant. I'll say I don't want to insult anybody. It's just uninformed.
That's a better word. And I find it very bizarre because my time in South Africa, even though they would say, oh my gosh, Pandu, I try to play their accent, I can't do it. Why, you don't eat meat? But then I'm like, but wait, y'all barely ate meat too. They had meat on like Monday, Thursday, and maybe on Sunday, and that was it. And that's because they couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so you know how you eat on the days that you don't have it? That's how I eat. So basically, you eat in the same way I eat. So how am I need less African? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
Right.
They barely eat meat too, but they feel like, oh no, but we still eat it though. But I don't know. It's just really funny how they kind of eat plant-based on the days that they're quote unquote poor.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And you have the nerve to tell me that
you're not African.
Right.
Because you're plant-based. That's funny.
It's kind of funny.
That's funny. Like I say, you know, you got you got to really when you look at somebody's opinion,
right, just take it as
and what they're talking about, you got to like look at like what is informing it.
Right.
And if if it's an uninformed opinion, then it's kind of like almost is worth like what is being informed by. Like it could be informed by like this something that's just totally false.
Totally. And I feel like,
you know what I'm saying?
on my end, I shouldn't be as emotional because I think that I'm guilty of I'm guilty of being emotional because I have such a deep love for the continent and just getting back to my roots of anything. Maybe I get a little bit emotional in my feelings when someone might attack that I'm not, or that I'm less African, or you get what I'm saying? So I feel like that could be something I need to work on, that maybe I'm just in my feelings because I'm like, excuse me, did you attack my Africanness?
But how they gonna attack your Africanness?
By saying that I could not even study the right, like that's what I'm saying. If they say the word of, therefore you don't eat this, so therefore you can't really be in African spirituality, the end. And that's what it feels, that's very offensive.
But isn't the spirit on the inside of you though?
I know, but I'm saying.
So that's like saying just because you don't wear dashiki, you can't study African
it's a dumb statement, but I think that I'm saying I use my emotions to allow them to upset me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been in my emotions.
That's true.
I was all like, how dare you say that to me?
Yeah. You know, you ready to defend yourself. You know, you're a fighter, baby. You know, and I can dig it.
And that's what I was in my show, by the way. That's funny.
You a fighter. You know, oh yeah, you got the spirit of oh yeah in. So no, but I mean, and I think that like again, when you really just looking at universal principles and what. And the benefits of universal principles, you know, you should be able to see the good in almost any philosophy, right? You should be able to see the universal truth,
right, in
any philosophy,
right? You know,
this is an interesting metaphor: chew the meat and spit out the bones, or or eat the watermelon and spit out the seeds. You know what I'm saying? Even though don't spit out the seeds in watermelon. Very good. High in iron and zinc. Eat the seeds in the watermelon. But you know what I'm saying? Eat the banana and throw the peel away.
Right.
You know, and you know, people should, and I think that's kind of what's wrong with, you know, certain spiritual philosophies is that, you know, they
better than yours.
Right. They can't get along. You know, they can't see the benefits in each of them, so they can't sit down at the table, eat a meal, and go home in peace.
Right. Well, it should be that, oh, that's cool, you do this. Okay, well, I do it like this. And, oh, that's great. We help you both, but you're both trying to get to the same thing, right?
Yeah, we're both trying to make the world a better place. We're trying to love our families. We're trying to build something for the future, build something for our kids. We're trying to, you know, better our station in this world.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We're trying to take back our power.
Right.
You know, we're trying to accomplish things.
Do the same thing.
Yeah. You know, through the powers that we have given, you know, or through, you know, getting closer to God. So, you know, that's the same goal, the same aim. You know, why can't we work together?
Exactly.
But, you know, but like I said, again, that understanding universal truth and how it works and the oneness, right? That's what we were talking about. It goes back to that. So, you know, hopefully on your your plant-based journey can lead you to that by understanding, you know, by understanding the, you know, how everything is in order and how you work in that order and you know, just understanding, you know, hopefully it can lead you to that. Maybe if you clean out some of that poop.
Hello.
Understand.
That's the least thing it can do.
But yeah, so cool. Hey, Well, I think we pretty much.
That's it. Yeah. I feel like
it was
it's
a good
time
conversation, though.
Yeah, and I love that. It's just having different views is okay, and I feel like if people can learn to speak like that, the world
would be a better place. The world would definitely be a better place. Definitely more spiritual place. But yeah, so I think as always, we like to have a remedy
and a supplement. Yeah,
a remedy and a recipe of the week.
There we go. Don't mind me.
And and so this week I wanted to just talk a little bit about a good remedy. I got a good one for him. Baby. Let me see. What are we going to talk about this week here? Let's see here. Well, I think that I wanted to, since we're talking about thinking and the brain.
Something for the brain.
Yeah, we want to talk a little bit about this great remedy. It's called Alpha GPC.
Okay.
Yeah, Alpha GPC. So it is a great benefit for the brain. It is great for helping with mood, cognitive function, even power, speed, and agility. So, choline is a great is a chemical in the brain that helps with your neurotransmitters fire. And choline is your level of choline in your brain just makes your brain more efficient. So alpha GPC is like a precursor to that.
Okay.
So yeah, you can get do your research as well. Of course, this is of course not medical advice. You always want to seek out your medical professional. This is for entertainment purposes only. Of course, you want to seek out your medical professional, your neuropath or acupuncturist or whoever it may be before you try a new supplement. But yes, look it up. Alpha GPC, great for the brain to keep those neurotransmitters firing. And you can think clearer, and you can think of that master plan. Like Rakim said, thinking of a master plan.
Okay, I like that.
There ain't nothing but sweat inside my hands. Digging in my pockets ain't nothing but living.
All right, go ahead, spit them rhymes.
So I'm thinking of ways I can count some dead presidents.
All
you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway. Yeah, so Alpha GPC. Get you some Alpha GPC. Look it up. Study it. It's a great supplement to have on hand, and especially because your brain is your best asset, right? If you look at you might have this beautiful, M1 MacBook, right? It's sleek, it's nice. You know what I'm saying? But the main thing about it, it's not the case. It's the CPU.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's what allows it to computing power. The computing power where you can, do all your things. You can edit your videos. You can do your music, on it. Run your logic and all of that. It's the CPU. So your brain is your CPU.
Exactly.
Right? So you want to take care of it. Give it some supplements. Feed it a little something to keep it firing. But yeah, definitely Alpha GPC. Choline too. Maybe we'll talk about that on another show. But yeah. So the recipe of the week. You say you want to give him a dessert this weekend.
Oh, yeah, something sweet.
Something sweet. All right. Well, I think we have one for him. This
sweet
one.
in the morning. Let me stop.
Yeah, sweet in the morning. No, but yeah. So this week we want to give him the fall fruit crisp.
Sounds yummy, doesn't it? Just sounds yummy.
Fall fruit crisp, even though it's summer, but fall fruit crisp. This is a delightful dessert that fills the home with an inviting fragrance. The flavor of sweetness of the fruit comes while satisfying the sweet tooth.
Okay, sweet tooth.
Yeah, you take 6 to 8 cups of chopped pears and apples, blueberries, fresh frozen, optional. We don't do the frozen, but fresh is good. But if you have to use frozen, some raisins, juice of 1 lemon, maple syrup, cinnamon, a teaspoon allspice, and for the topping, you take some rolled oats, chopped walnuts, pecans.
This is delicious.
Whole wheat flour, some non-dairy butter, of course. firmly packed brown sugar, cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, salt, anise seeds optional. 350. Heat the oven. Medium bowl. Combine everything. You make your topping, man, and boom.
I want to add something in there. Can I interject really fast?
Oh, go ahead.
I would say try spelt flour over the wheat flour.
Of course.
Yeah.
Spelt flour is great.
Just saying.
Of course.
Same recipe, but just put the spelt.
Yeah, and we're going to put this recipe up on our social media and maybe even have a demonstration video.
Mm-hmm.
Let people know how we get down.
Yes.
So so that the recipe of the week, a nice dessert is a fall fruit crisp. With all of your different fruits. Maybe you can try even some other fruits in there if you like.
Exactly, for the strawberry.
A nice fruit crisp you can make it, and it'll be a nice little dessert. Something you can have at a nice little summer party or something. So we'll call it the summer or fall fruit crisp because hey, it's all season. Fruits are good in all seasons, and plant-based with love kind of way. So yeah. So hey, I think we gave him a good show.
I think so too.
Tonight.
I think so as well.
Yeah. As all hearts and minds clear. Anything else you want to tell the people?
Just always be open.
Be open.
Yeah, I think be open because we're just giving our opinion. But I know that I can be open and listen to someone I can totally disagree with, but they might have a point, that one point that I'm like, okay, I see your point. So
I got you.
I feel like just be open, even if you're like, I don't agree with anything they're saying. But just be open. You might see a little point.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, essentially, we're more the same than we're different. If you could see it, if your eyes are open.
Thank you.
To me, in my opinion, But like I say, when you understand the universal truths, and you can find the universal truths in, it's universal.
Exactly.
They relate to everybody and everything. So I think if we look more for the universal truths, then we can get along a little better.
Yeah, and stop looking at what's different.
Man.
I always would say that if aliens were looking at us, they would be laughing at us, saying they think they're so different.
They do. They look.
They
ain't looking.
That's what I'm saying.
They probably have a good time.
Just eating popcorn.
Exactly. That's better than reality TV.
Right. They're like, look at
watching humans.
So different. They're all the same. Like, so. Yeah.
That's probably why they, don't really come and holler at us like that no more.
Because they probably like, yeah, y'all just too dumb for us.
Because y'all got to step it up a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, they watching. They been man. I'm sure they have some good laughs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so sad. We are the love and hip hop to them.
Yeah, probably.
Horrible. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to dislike that.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. But hey, it's all. Hey, that's a guilty pleasure for some people. We won't take that
exactly.
away.
I'm like, sometimes you need just to not think and just have a little fun.
I got you. Maybe we can start, loving plant-based and hip-hop or something.
Right, something like that. I guess we gotta change the wording around, huh?
Yeah.
Make it sound cool.
Plant-based with love and hip-hop.
See, I feel like I don't know the plant-based. I feel like we gotta make another word. What do you think?
Then plant-based?
I'm just trying to figure out something more. I don't know. I'm just thinking of the young kids.
Plant-based with love and hip-hop. That would be dope. No?
Okay. I guess we can work on it.
We'll work on it. All right. So we'll put that in the parking lot. Well, we thank you again for joining us for another show.
Very much.
Wherever you are, listening to this, we truly appreciate you for listening. Please subscribe, like, and follow us again. This Plant-Based Love, the podcast, wherever you find podcasts are found on most platforms. Of course, follow us on Facebook and on Instagram.
Absolutely.
So hey, we thank you, and hey, I am your host. I'm Shep, and
I'm Pendu.
Hey, and this has been Plant-Based with Love, and we're out.
All right, peace.
Peace.